we're live. I've realized that I love doing that. I've looked at every show that we've done for the past 3 weeks, and I'm like, and we're live. That's my thing. It's like Starburst. If I had like, graphics, it would be like, and we're live. Anyway, hello, we're live. Welcome to Big Girl and Friends on Thursday, April 9th. My name is Christopher Wilson, also known as Big Girl, and we're delighted to have you with us tonight. We got another fantastic guest. On the onset, I just wanted to thank our wonderful guest last night, the fabulous come from away mayor, Mr. George Maswell. George was working really hard on behalf of us because this is a fundraiser for the Actors Fund of Canada, which is afchelps.ca. So we have had some wonderful, wonderful, generous contributions given by our viewers. Every little bit helps, whether it's $10 or $1,000 or $10,000. The AFC is an incredible organization that's supporting the artistic community across the country, from coast to coast, from British Columbia all the way to Newfoundland. The longer we are in this situation with social isolation and self-quarantining, the longer we are unable to do our craft. So we are very grateful for an organization such as the AFC, which is why we are shouting them out and doing this support with Big Girl and Friends. So anyway, the most exciting thing was George said at the beginning of the show, he said he wanted $1,000. And we were so lucky because one of George's close friends, Broadway legend, Len Cariou, and his wonderful, wonderful wife were watching from New York last night. And before the show was done, it wasn't visible until after we went off air, but they donated $1,000 in George's honor. So we're just, not only were Ryan and I super thrilled to be watching, to have Len and his wife be watching, because Len originated the role of Sweeney Todd. He was in the original Broadway production of A Little Night Music. I mean, he's originally a Canadian from Winnipeg. So to have that type of Canadian pride with a Broadway legacy was just so exciting. And we're so very grateful to the Cariou family for their incredible, generous donation last night. So blah, 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 Christopher. I'm going to bring in Ryan and tell him about my day, my fabulous co-host, the Associate Director of Toronto Musical Concerts, my buddy, my partner in crime. Please welcome to the stream, Mr. Ryan Kelly.
Hey, Chris.
Ryan, where are you?
Well, look, it's just this whole isolation thing.
Yes, what's happening? Tell me.
Well, it's the air in here. I'm not getting out as much. My skin is just like...
What's happened to your skin, Ryan?
I don't know. It's like it's breaking out or something. Like every show I try to come up with a theme. And today I was stumped.
Okay.
But it came from within today because I looked at my face and I don't know what happened. I'm breaking out everywhere in glamour.
Wow.
And I'm a little unsure about what to do about it, actually.
I think the best thing you can do is just sparkle in all of your zhuzhy glory.
Well, I think it's appropriate somewhat for our guest tonight because I understand that she sparkles as well. I figured, if a queen is coming on the show, then we should dress for it, right? Listen, I'm not even splitting my chocolate milk with white milk today. I'm doing it straight, and I bedazzled my cup. I am bejeweled
chocolate
out.
You are bejeweled.
I know. I'm a beast today.
You look divine.
Thanks, love.
If I could take you to the ball, I would do so. I would show up in my horse-drawn carriage, covered in sparkling jewels, and
look,
bring you.
I am the horse-drawn carriage.
You are the belle of the ball.
I'm everything. I'm everything and more. So tell me about your day, honey. How was your day, love?
My day was, well, the exciting thing about my day, so I've said this, I'm part of this movement class. It's called like Shake and Get Ready in the Morning. And it's like a Zoom meeting. And it's just a lot of people. It just promotes like sort of free-forming movement, which is awesome. But I've taken it, I'm someone who really responds well, when there's energy around me, even if it's cyber energy. So I've taken it to be my 45-minute, like full-on like calisthenics, like I'm giving her, like I'm doing like full-on aerobics, like jumping jacks and
high kicks and splits. And
yes, for those who know Matthew Bradley, he's
24 skadoo.
I was like, I'm really doing it, and I'm like dripping in sweat, and it's awesome. So I did that this morning, and I might have mentioned, or maybe I didn't, that Gavin and I took our bicycles into the shop because Gavin had an amazing mountain bike that he hasn't used in years. And my bike needed a total overhaul. So we took it in last week and we got it back today. And oh, she's all pimped up. She's got like red tape. And I was like,
red tape?
Yes, on the handlebars.
Oh, nice. Does it have the streamers? Did you put, some hockey cards? Did you clothespin some hockey cards to your spokes?
That would be great.
Remember that?
I could.
I don't want to confuse the dancers here. That didn't mean a triple pirouette, by the way. Just.
No, it's actually the spokes. Anyway, I could like be the Priscilla Queen of the Desert bus equivalent with the gold lame on my bike.
Oh my God. With that horrendous but glamorous wig you had on last week, actually, too.
Can you imagine it flowing,
streaming? You literally would be the COVID-19 virus. You're like, look at how much look at me. I'm spreading. I'm sharing. I'm sharing it all. This is what happens when all of you cough on each other.
Ryan, you've had your first shout out for your glam and jewels from our dear Sarah Strange.
I'm living for Sarah Strange, period. She doesn't have to do anything.
So anyway, I got in my workout this morning and I got in my bike ride. And then Gavin wanted me to go for a jaunty stroll with our doggy Daisy. But
clarify a jaunty. Like if that's a qualifier there, because I know you're an adverb guy, and not only, ladies and gentlemen, does he like an alliteration, but the man loves an adverb as well.
Well, father, I have to qualify this. My father was an English teacher, and my late dad taught high school English for 35 years. And for those who know me, I was the kid who at 3 years of age knew words like stop monopolizing the conversation and being so precocious. Yeah,
I was singing from Hair, so at 3 I knew the words cunnilingus and fellatio and all those ones. So it seems like both of our parents made sure that we all knew all the right words.
Yes, and that we were extremely well equipped with the vocabulary we needed to navigate the world. Friends, we are so equipped. So I declined.
Jaunty walk with Daisy.
I declined on the jaunty walk.
Okay.
Yes, I stayed. I'll do the jaunty walk tomorrow. So
they had a little alone time then?
They did. Daisy Duke, as we call her, and the Gavinator had some alone time. So
they totally like. She loves him, huh?
She does. It's like, yeah. I'm just like, I'm the play guy, but he's totally dad.
Oh, that's so cute.
So, any highlights to your fabulous day today, Mr. Ryan Kelly?
Well, I went on a trip across the city, and I'm not going to dwell on it. But it was I had to do an errand for a family member, for my mom.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my best to social distance. I don't think I may brag about how smart I am, but I'm so flaky. I'm as flaky as like the worst one. I mean, come on. I may brag about my genius, but I can be a doofus at the best of times. I swear it. But 6 feet is not 2 feet.
No.
I'm 6 feet tall.
You are.
A hockey stick is. Joey Ramone was 6 feet tall. Just imagine a Ramone lying on the sidewalk in front of me. Get away from me. Just imagine me wearing a whole like a poncho of Ramones, right? Then I'd look like the COVID virus. But but I swear. And then, okay, my favorite, the most horrifying. I mean, I did have an encounter with someone. I'm worried. I am worried a little bit about people who, yes, the butthole edition. Yeah, this is about how the cats looked in the movie too. That's why everybody needs to watch it, y'all.
But you were saying, Ramon, 6 feet. 6 feet.
Oh, this 6 feet. I did have an encounter with a homeless person, or a person who was living a desperate situation, and they were unwell. And that worries me because I can see even the most rational of people. I don't know. The vibe is changing out there, and even the vibe with me. And so of course their concerns are going to be going up. You see even like pigeons like, oh, I need food, because no one's throwing food on the ground or anything, right? So I understand that rats have made a bit of a comeback in some major cities because they have no food to eat because it's not out right now. So the vibe with people, I mean, if the rats are getting a little anxious, I mean, I'm sure people are getting anxious as well. This one fellow, mask, gloves, seemed to be pulling out all the stops, sat on the subway, used his gloves to open a bag of snacks, put his glove in the bag of snacks, picked up the snack with his glove, lifted up his mask, put his glove and his snack in his mouth, put his mask back over, and he thinks he's doing it right. And that concerns me just a little bit. Like, that just concerns me. But, you know, urban travel is much more adventurous, I have to admit. I'm not worried about the virus. I mean, I am but I'm more worried about the way people are responding.
Yeah, and it's incredibly varied, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie that I mean, the more stir crazy we become and the more pleasant the weather becomes, I'm a little nervous around people. You know, but I will say that, you know, it's unfortunate that this is the way that it has to go. But, you know, law enforcement is definitely amping up their game. Like, there are people, like, I'm aware that there was I
wish there didn't have to be law enforcement to do it, though, because then it has there's an oppression
it's true, but
feeling.
Sometimes people have to be bee slapped. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's true. I mean, there was a by the way, we're doing some like gentle like blah 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 because our guest is having some internet connectivity issues and is not currently in the stream. So
we usually gab for about 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah, well, we're 15. I see this person back. Okay, cool.
Oh, is she back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the giveaway. I already gave away. Right? Okay. Can you guess who are?
Yes.
You all know who it is, but can you guess?
But it's true. Anyway, one thing I wanted to share, I do want to bring our guest in now that our guest is back. Our poor guest. I can see her backstage. It's good. It's like namaste. Take a breath. Namaste.
I think that's the thing. Everybody should breathe. Just breathe.
Yeah. So last night, really quickly, I went on a late night after our stream finished. I had dinner with Gavin and I went for a late night drive. And I always love the view of the cityscape from the docks. And
yes, I saw the picture you shared.
Yeah.
Actually.
So I had a lovely down there, but it was hysterical. I was driving up Yonge Street, and God bless him, there was a busker on the corner of Dundas Square at Dundas and Yonge, outside the Eaton Center, on that corner where there's either like like evangelists, full on breakdancing, like just giving her.
Oh,
and no one was around.
Just going.
Had his cones, and there were some street people that were just grooving with it, but he was just giving her like he was like it was 1999, and I was like,
look,
yeah!
He's got room to do it now. Like that's his theater, right? Yeah. He's got room to do it.
I threw money. I was like, you're awesome.
Yeah. Well, listen. I mean, the only thing I could. What I've come down to is that, yes, I'm realizing that I may actually have more anxiety than I knew I had about the situation, which is I'm happy to make that acknowledgement, because now I know to check in with myself, do some deep breathing, do those things that I remind myself when I am feeling anxious and I'm aware of it, just remind myself to be really gentle with myself and double down on the patience with others, because I did not feel patient when I got home. And that was
that's a journey, right? That's that's called humanism.
And then I got distracted at how gorgeous I am tonight. The glitter, the sparkle, the jewels.
Well, speaking of glitter, glamour, gorgeous,
jewels.
That was such a good segue. I was like right with you.
And it was almost an alliteration. Had it been 3, but we had
Let us welcome to the stream, fresh from the Broadway in the Tony Award-winning musical Hadestown, Miss JEWELLE, not Jewel. It's better than Jewel.
It's better than Jewel. JEWELLE BLACKMAN!
Yay!
Wow. Hi, beautiful.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. How are you tonight?
I'm good. You guys?
I mean, you know, we're trying to stay sparkly.
You're sparkling. You are definitely sparkling.
You know, I try, but you know, if I don't want to steal. I don't want to steal anything away from you. You got your fairy lights. You've got your the yellow. You're looking gorgeous. Your wrap is beautiful. It matches my face mask that I wore today. So I feel like we've got this psychic connection, as well as obviously my breakout today in honor of you.
The best breakout.
So
I'm thinking someone, and love that we and I'm assuming that this handsome devil, who we all know, I guess, saw you in New York.
He did. He came to New York. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I'm gonna go. Ryan and I. We're gonna go to New York. We're gonna go to New York when this damn thing blows over.
Yeah. If there is still a Unork. I called it a Unork.
A Unork. Unique Unork, New York.
Yeah. Okay. Goodbye. Okay. So Jewelle, tell us how you're doing. Fill us in on how you've been.
I'm still in a bit of a daze.
Sure.
This is crazy. Like, I can't even speak. Like, even saw me, Chris, right before this. I was running around like a mad woman, and that's how I feel most of the time. Yeah. I feel just slightly on edge. I'm either slightly on edge and like this, or I just don't feel anything. I don't have a middle ground yet. Yeah. I'm hoping that will come with time. Right. But yeah, either I'm like, or just, don't have much.
Where are you? Yeah. Where are you situated in the world right now?
I'm in Pickering, Ontario.
Pickering, and with whom are you in Pickering?
In my house with my son.
Okay, so you're back with your little one.
I am.
Yeah, and how old is your son?
He's 9 years old.
Okay, so let's maybe. I mean, we're gonna get into all the stagey talk about, but let's just talk about the humanism on the onset. So you have been doing 8 shows a week in New York City.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just call it a show. We'll get into the specifics.
You're doing a show.
You're doing a show, but your son is full-time in school back in Canada.
Yes, he is.
So how has that been working for your, like, how do you guys make that work as a family?
Well, his father is here, and he's done a great job of helping to, take control of the fort. And my parents live very close nearby. They're like 10 minutes away.
So beautiful.
They're good that you have support that way.
Well, yeah. And I would try to come back every 2 weeks. Would usually end up being like every 3 weeks or once a month. Sure. But I would try to come back as often as I could as well. And then Zion came as well. He's been to like a couple times now. To see some time with me. So.
We've seen some great photos of you two in New York.
Yeah, he likes, like, Mommy, everybody's so friendly here. And that's actually what I thought about New York too. People are extremely
agree.
Totally. And when I tell New Yorkers that, they're like, what? But I'm like, yeah, you guys are like really friendly.
Yeah. That's actually what I found there too. Hi, Tara.
Love you.
Has your son seen the show?
Oh yeah, he's seen it twice.
Well, oh yeah. I remember back.
Oh yeah.
Really? What? Where was he sitting? Because I remember one time I was doing a show and my nephew was staying with me, and he got to watch from the pit, which was such a cute little. Like, were you able to see your son out there? Like when he was.
My child had house seats both times that he came and he saw the show.
Lovely.
So
Good.
I can clearly see when there's a big moment in the show that happens. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a big moment in the show that happens. Yes. And the first time he saw the show, he was with my mother. My mother brought him, and they were sitting together. And from where I was standing on stage, I could see Zion's reaction, and he literally went like this to my mom.
Oh, that's so awesome!
On stage,
you must have just filled you up.
I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
That's fantastic.
I will never forget that moment.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's beautiful. Now, based on the things that you've shared in the Facebook about your family, am I correct that your son is quite an avid sports fan?
Oh yeah, my child he's a prodigy. He's gifted in running.
Yes.
He holds records in Ontario for 5-year-olds and 5 and 6-year-old in the 50 meter and the 150 meter.
Wow.
Record. I know. He's but he's been training since he was 5. He's been training running since he was 5. He's now 9.
Was he a terror to keep up with when he was smaller?
Well, you know what? We always knew that he was kind of fast, and he actually played soccer first. And we were like, this child's got quick feet. Like his it's like crazy. And then we could tell he could care less about the ball, and it was more about the running.
Oh,
and so
cool.
I was like, maybe he should do track. And I did track when I was younger, and I was good, but he's on another level. This
Yeah,
child's on another
incredible.
level.
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah.
So
Maybe he'll go to the Olympics.
So with that type, you know, obviously he's sort of athletically minded. As he's been growing up, what has his been perception of Mom, the performer, Mom, the actor?
Oh, what's interesting was, so he's used to it. It's not really, it hasn't ever been a big deal until he came to New York.
Yeah.
And he saw my Instagram, and he's like, Mommy, why are all these people talking to you? Like, who are all these messages? What is this? Why do you have so many followers? And that's actually when my son realized,
Like,
the show that I'm in is kind
star.
of a big deal. Yeah,
Right.
but like, Mommy, you know, and when I come out from the show, the stage door can be quite epic.
Yeah.
And he's seen that, you know, so it's kind of like, and people kind of, he's been around when people have recognized me on the street.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
so now he gets it. Before it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it was
Yeah.
Mommy's doing the show. So
You have more street cred now.
exactly. Street cred, 9-year-old.
That's really
Right.
cool.
And I saw one photo. I think it's your profile photo. On you're walking down the street with him, but you're in your costume.
Yes. So we were performing at Good Morning America that morning.
Oh,
and
right.
Wow.
Zion and his sister they had all come to New York, and I asked for permission for them to sit in the audience. So they got to come with me. We had to wake up like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I had to go to the theater. The theater is literally a 5-minute walk. We had to get dressed. Then we all were walking. The entire cast was walking in Times Square when it was empty. It was cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
And our ASM, Cherie, is an amazing photographer, and she always gets these really cool moments. And she happened to snatch that of us walking down the street.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so cool.
well, Lucky, if I'm not mistaken, again, we'll get into this, but you sing predominantly as a trio in the show as the face.
Yes.
I was going to say, getting up at that hour, you were probably thrilled that you were on the bottom part of the harmony.
That's what people say. And I say to them, you know what? It takes skill and effort.
Fair enough.
From
whatever part you're singing in. And just because I'm singing lower,
girl,
doesn't mean that it's easier. So
from a bass to a contralto, I got you.
Yes.
I'm
Well,
just gonna let you two work that out.
Speaking of those beautiful dulcet tones, would you be gracious enough to share your first musical offering with us tonight?
Do you have some dulcet tones for us, Jewelle?
Dulcet? I don't know about that. Something.
What are you going to share with us? What are you going to sing?
At one point, I'm going to be singing. Oh my gosh, I just lost the page. Oh, I just lost the internet here. Hold on.
It's okay. We're good. We keep it so real on Big Rolling Friends.
Literally, this is not a professional show. I dug into my crap bag and stuck Dollarama stickers on my face tonight. Like what? Like where are we living right now?
Okay, I'm getting it. The first song I'm singing is Miss Celie's Blues.
Ooh.
I love.
Sorry, I just freaked out a little. I'm so excited.
There. Pause. Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm gonna have to eventually plug in my computer. So many things going on, I'm telling you. But that can wait till after the song. I'll plug in my computer.
Okay.
I think I have enough juice.
Have a beautiful sing.
Thank you.
Hey, girl, I'm going to give you the floor here.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. We've got a little bit of a harmony intro here. Harmonica intro. Harmony. Sister, you've been on my mind. Sister, we're two of a kind. So, sister, I'm keeping my eye on you. I bet you think I don't know nothing but singing the blues. Oh, sister, have I got news for you? I'm something. I hope you think that you're something too. Well, Scuffling, I've been up that lonesome road, and I see no light of sun's going down. Whoa, but trust me, no lone life's gonna run me around. So let me tell you something, sister. Remember your name, oh, twisters. Gonna steal your stuff away, my sister. We sure ain't got a whole lot of time. So shake your shimmy, sister. 'Cause honey, the sugar is feeling fine. Backups. That was cool.
Oh, I love that song.
I was like, if I had a fan, I was in church.
Oh my, that song, man. That song. Okay, so when Tara was on, we were talking about Color Purple, and
There it is.
right? See, yes, Georgia.
Thank you.
So, and I saw Color Purple in the theater. So I was like in grade 6, and it was a lesson, obviously, for me in so many ways. But that song, well, that character, and that song just shook me for years.
Yeah.
What gets in you when you sing that song?
It's one of my dream roles, but it's just the whole idea of sisterhood and looking out for your sister, and saying that it's gonna be all right. We've got each other, and we can get through this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just the love that you can have for another woman. It's the movie gets me. Like I saw the tour years ago, like the first tour.
Right.
Yeah.
Tour years ago. I actually saw it twice when it was here because I loved the show that much. But the fact that song is not in the show always gets me, because that is the song for me, for Suge, that is Suge.
It occurred to me while you were singing, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is in the musical, but it is not. So, I think for me, and I guess it's because of my attachment or connection to the movie and that song. Like I would sing that song to myself in the mirror when I was a kid.
Yeah,
wearing this outfit. But there's something so the style and the music and the genre has got that beautiful easiness and very American sort of South feel in it too. Yeah, jazz and stuff. You kill it. It's beautiful stuff.
Okay, I need to plug in my computer. I'm here, but I need to do this.
Okay, do it.
You do it. Ryan, what's your dream role? No, seriously, what's your dream role?
We've done almost all of them, actually, and I'm super thrilled about it. And it came in like fits and spurts over the years. I didn't know a few of my dream roles were my dream roles until I got to do them, like playing Mickey in The Normal Heart. I look back and go, what an amazing opportunity. But one of the roles, we got to like Baker and into all the Sondheim, people. But I always wanted to play Sweeney.
Oh, well.
I've always wanted to play Sweeney.
Joelle, this is our projectionist, Mr. Jim Claxton, and
hi, Jim.
And Jim he was our projectionist on the Andy Warhol show.
Oh yeah, okay, that's why I was like Jim. It sounds familiar, and I was like, he looked. I was like, yes.
Yes,
Hey.
and Jim has actually been supporting Toronto Musical Concerts since we moved to the Al Green as our lighting designer and our projection designer, which has been
he's
super
an
cool.
amazing, integral part of our shows. It's amazing.
Oh, cool.
Ryan, I will remember the
Well, look, I'm not quite there yet. I think I still got to put on a little heft, but I know
true.
I can be villainous. So
It's
yeah.
true. So Joelle, I think that's like, I mean, talking about Jim and the Fringe. So
yes,
you and I had this conversation about you never know where life is going to take you in one calendar year.
Yep.
So in June of 2018, you and I were involved in a work that had been done a couple times, but we were involved in a Fringe show, which was Andy Warhol in rehearsal. And the show was finding its legs and finding its way, and we were working together, sweating it out till we discovered the air conditioning in the in the Mervish rehearsal hall on King Street.
Yeah.
And you know, it was an intense process, and we were having our artistic journey, and but we got there and we created this really neat project. And literally within one calendar year, from June 2018 to June 2019, you are on the stage of Radio City Music Hall in the Tony Awards, in the Tony Award-winning Broadway musical. 1 year.
And we still haven't said that musical's name yet. We haven't given it away. For you know, if anyone can guess, put it in the comments below. You and a hug from me next year.
Yeah. So like, let's talk about that. So we have to talk about it. So obviously this show is Broadway's Hadestown.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I know the journey, but let's talk about your entry point into this incredible journey.
Okay. So it was 2017, and I was lying in bed, and I was looking at what different theater companies throughout the country were doing for their programming. So it was a time of people just releasing their seasons and stuff.
Yeah.
And I came across the Citadel, and they had said they're doing Hadestown, and I was like, "What's that? I don't know what that is." But I wanted to look into all the shows and the musicals, especially because that's my love.
Yeah.
And so I looked into it and saw that it was a show that had been workshopped at the New York Theater Workshop for the past few years, and Rachel Chavkin was the director, and Anais Mitchell was the lyricist, the writer, the music composer, and all that. And so I said, let me just listen to this and get a feel for it, because Rachel Chavkin I knew from The Great Comet of 1812. It just was on Broadway still at that time, yes, and was doing really well, and I'd gotten into that music a bit. And I listened to the music and I was like, what the hell is this? I had never heard any musical sound like this before.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with it, listened to it, fell in love with Amber Gray's voice, who plays Persephone. And then a few weeks later, a month later, something like that, a breakdown came out. And I'd actually told my agent not to submit me for anything taking me out of Ontario because I had a child. And I hadn't done, since I had Zion, I hadn't left
stayed close.
the province or Canada.
Yeah.
I'd stayed close. But I was like, you know, let me just go audition and
throw your name in the hat.
Yeah, see what happens. And so and the breakdown was special because it called for unique voices and if you played a musical instrument. And so I was like, okay, I can play my violin, and I have a different voice, I think. So let me go try this out. So I actually auditioned for the role of Persephone, and I sang the song Our Lady of the Underground with my violin. And I had a great audition.
Obviously.
I had a great audition. And then I think 2 weeks later, I found out that I got the gig. And so I was like, oh,
so exciting.
If I can interrupt you briefly, forgive me. Sometimes I just think I know how to pronounce everything in the world. Can you again pronounce the wonderful, the writer of the show, her name?
Oh, Anais Mitchell.
Anais. So I was also brought in for that audition because before the gentleman who was playing the god of the underworld was confirmed to be doing it again, they were looking for low voices. So I went in, and the audition experience with her. So I did that call and response song with her, and I was singing, and she was singing with me.
No, that's Anais.
And I was like, And now Daryl Cloran, Daryl's a very old friend of mine. He graciously directed a show for our company years and years ago. Like, I mean, he's like cutting edge in terms of programming and his thoughtfulness.
He is.
Like what he's doing at the Citadel in Edmonton's amazing. But just to be in that room with her, and she was just so authentic. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, I don't care if I booked a gig. This little exchange with her in this room was worth the price of admission. It was amazing.
Yeah, she's so giving and open but she knows what she wants. Like, you know what I mean? Like I remember I sang Our Lady of the Underground, and then I sang the final song of the show, Raise Our Cup, and she's like, don't sing too much, Jewelle. You know, just talk. And she's got such cool, calm thing to her. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. She knows what she wants. She's very particular, but still very open. You know.
Well, even in the acceptance speech on the Tonys. Like,
when Rachel spoke.
Aeneas,
Aeneas.
No, Aeneas too, because Rachel, I mean, just that even in that forum of like national television, there was still just that she true to thine own self, you know.
Yeah, she's
So you got the gig, and the show had been
you booked.
So the show had been in development in New York, and this was a very out-of-town tryout by American standards in the Great White North.
Which they did on purpose, thinking that the New York Times wouldn't come, but they still came.
They did?
Yeah. They didn't give it a review, but they still came. They still came to see what was going on.
Chris, that was like when we had that chair reserved for Guffman at Urinetown, the concert. He didn't come. Not the same. Yeah. He didn't come. No, New York Times came out to Edmonton. And did you know they were there? Or did you only find out after? Or
they kind of did a piece on us. Like they took some pictures. They took some pictures of us, but nobody made it a thing. Do you know what I mean? Nobody made it a thing. There was more about documenting the process, and the show went so far off Broadway that you had to take 2 planes to get here and all that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. Brief interjection. Thank you to Nancy Bordenero, a beautiful former student of mine, a sassy lady with a killer voice and fabulous. Talking about glitter, this woman has amazing hair colors. $30 donation. Thank you, Nancy, for your support.
Thank you, Nancy.
Yes, thank you. So,
Jewelle, Oh, sorry, Chris. Go ahead, love.
Brian, you're more interested.
I was going to say, tell us about the journey from Edmonton to New York. Like, what was? Was there a lot of hanging in the balance, or was it just like hop, skip, and a jump, or like?
No, not necessarily. So we did Edmonton, and it was received well. It was visually, the show was very different from what it is now on Broadway.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
And even during the preview, after the first preview, Rachel scrapped like 30% of the set, and we came in the next day and we were like, what? Like it was
wow.
Yeah. But that's what I love about Rachel too. She's like, no, that's not working. We're doing something else, and not non-apologetic about it by any means, because she knows what she wants, and it was the right move. And I think it was that move that helped get us to where we are now in terms of the staging of the show, the set of the show. But yeah, we did the run out there in Edmonton, and it was received well and stuff. And like I knew they liked me. They liked you.
They really liked you.
But being the Canadians that we are, and not that we self-deprecate, not like that, but in my head, I believed in the show, and I was like, you know what? I think the show is going to go somewhere. It would be great if I could go somewhere for the 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't, because they're going to look in New York anyway. So that's kind of the approach that I had. Sure. So I left the show. They then went and did a run at the National Art Center in London, England. The National in London, England, and they didn't take any Canadians. They took some of the leads who they had in Edmonton. They kept Patrick and Amber and Reeve, because Reeve joined in Edmonton. That's the first time Reeve did Edmonton. And then they picked up Eva in London, and Andre de Shields joined in London as well. Right. And then they got the rest of the company to be locals. So I didn't hear anything about London, and I was like, that's fine. But then the breakdown for Broadway came out, and that was in what was that? That was December 2018. Yeah. And I was doing Mary Poppins at YPT.
Yeah.
And I remember I reached out to my agent and I just said, hey, Nancy, just see if they're kind of interested. Minor segue about in the summertime preceding that, the casting directors did reach out to me to see if I had papers to go to the States, but I didn't.
No reason. Just asking. No reason.
Just asking. But then we never heard from them again. So I was like, okay, I guess that's done. But anyways, so my agent reached out to them and said, Jewelle saw this and she just letting you know she's interested. My agent did not hear a thing. We didn't hear a thing back for weeks. And I was like, okay, I guess that's it. And then a few weeks later, they said, okay, well, can Jewelle come to New York to audition? And I was like, nope, I'm doing a show. I can't. So I can't come and audition, but I can send you guys a tape, even though you know what I can do. But sure, I'll do another tape. So one day during a 2-show day at YPT, I went upstairs to one of the rooms, got my little tripod and my phone, and I just recorded some stuff with my violin and singing, and submitted that. And then I found out that was like December 17th, 18th, and then I found out January 7th that I remember that date because I was sitting in my car. I've just come from Oshawa Center. I was getting ready to pick up my son from school, and I had missed a call from my agent, and she was literally, well, you got the call. You're going to Broadway. You need to call me. And I was
like, on your tape, you would know.
I wish I kept it. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, what a thrill.
I sent me a message, and that's how it happened. Like when it happened, it just kind of happened. That was like within a matter of weeks. It was crazy.
I mean, Jewelle, as you said, like you do have a very, very distinct instrument. This instrument.
Right.
And it really is like, so even in New York, I mean, the color of your voice, the quality it's very unique and it's very special. And if they want it, it's what the higher power gave you. But if that's what they wanted in the mix, then they wanted that color. So it's
truly a testament to the story of our uniquenesses are the things that make us special. And so I want a little bit more of your uniqueness.
Oh,
if
boy.
That's okay.
Yeah,
so I want to hear another song, if that's okay with you. Chris?
Jewelle, let's set this up because this is so cool. I mean, I was going to say, by the way, if you had stuck around Canada, you probably would have been cast as Suge in every company of The Color Purple, but you were too busy being on Broadway.
Being on Broadway and on the Today Show. Sorry.
This is really cool what you're about to sing, and let's tell them, like, we're allowed to share that this was in the pipeline before you left.
Yeah, so this was actually, I lost my connection here again. It's gonna connect. There we go.
Yeah.
So before I found out that I got Broadway, I was actually, oh my goodness, my son, stop. I was actually cast as the MC in a production of Cabaret at the Grand.
Oh, that show!
I was supposed to be the MC. So, and I was like, this is epic. And I was so looking forward to doing that and just how we can make it. Because I was like, I honestly said to Dennis, like, how are we going to make this work, Dennis?
Dennis Garnham,
how are we going to do this? But
tired casting.
I trusted him. Like, clearly you have a vision and somehow this could happen. Broadway.
Well, it was there for you.
Okay.
You had
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Yeah. So you're going to perform a song, one of the MC songs.
I am, if my computer behaves. It's going to behave.
Super. Of course, it's going to behave.
Yeah, it's a commercial right now.
I love this. There's so the original MC is Joel Grey. Joel Grey and JEWELLE BLACKMAN. Yeah.
Oh.
Are you good to fire on the track?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okie doke.
We're gonna give you the love. Here we are.
Okay. I don't care much, go or stay.
I don't care very much either way. Hearts grow hard on a windy street. Lips grow cold when there's rent to meet. So if you kiss me, if we touch, warning's fair, I don't care very much. I don't care much. Go or stay. I don't care very much either way. Words sound false when your coat's too thin. Feet don't waltz when the roof caves in. So if you kiss me, if we touch, warning's fair, I don't care very much.
Stop it.
I literally, it was
I'm
like,
mad. Like I'm mad at that. Come on.
it was like I was just being, it was kind of, it was
it's
like,
like having a bath in hot caramel. Like, what is that?
I thought it was like your body pillow, Ryan. I was like,
oh yes,
like,
dulcet tones, like dripping, heavy. I love that deepness that you've got in there.
I should know what dulcet.
Dulcet is sweet, sweet.
Oh, that's what that is.
I think so, isn't it? Yeah, like say dulce de leche, sweet milk. So
thank you.
Dulcet tones, the sweet tones. But yeah, they're sweet, but they're smoky too. Like what? When did you know you could do that? Like when did you figure out that you could do that with your voice?
Oh, no, I've always had a low voice. It's just that nobody in Canada really cared. So that's all.
Fair.
I could always the first time I really got to use it was because I understudied Alana, the Killer Queen, and We'll Rock You.
Oh, right.
And that's a really low part. So that's the first time that I got to really dig in. And then in Acid Queen, Tommy at Stratford, she goes, woo, and then all the way up. So yeah, that's really the first time.
It's very cool. It's just
I
really
would
cool.
love, I'm putting this out there, maybe I'll help develop this. I would love to develop a musical based on the life of Nina Simone, starring, oh wait, wrong way.
Thanks. You shift up.
Yeah,
Fingers
I mean,
up.
she had such an interesting
I'll play the
life.
white guy who showed up one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just put,
because I've written a show. It's called For Women, based on the song For Women by Nina Simone. I've actually written.
well, when you decide you're coming back from the
This is public. This is live. You two have this discussion in private. No one heard a thing. Zip it.
When you come back from the Broadway, give me a call. So listen, New York. Were you able? Like we were talking to some of our friends, of course, like Alessandro and Constantini. Like he actually was home on a hiatus, and then everything got shut down on the tour, so he didn't have any of his stuff with him. But you were able to pack a bag and come home.
Well, but hold on. So let me tell you how we found out.
Yeah, please.
So there have been rumblings for a bit, and the week before the shutdown, the company had come together and decided that we weren't going to stage door. I think we were one of the first shows that decided we weren't going to stage door for a while.
Yeah.
And so we did that. That was our first thing. And then no more backstage guests. That happened. We did that as well. And then I was going to be having a put-in for the role of Persephone that Friday. So on Thursday, we were having...
you're covering the role. Okay.
I'm going to be covering her eventually when the show starts again, I guess.
Cool.
And so we were having an understudy work, and it was my first time working with the turntables and just the technical aspects of the show. So there was about a third of the cast in the building in rehearsals. And so, you know, we were doing our thing on stage, and then our producers walked in from the side and were like, so guys, I'm sure you've kind of got a feeling now, but Broadway is shut down. And we were like, you know, to actually hear it, like we had a feeling, but to actually have it, you know, we're all just there like, what? And then John Krause, he's the understudy for Orpheus, who has not had a chance to go on it yet because Reeve Carney never misses a show. He was going to be going on for the first time that night.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I left. I was the only Fate who was called in because I was understudying, so the other girls weren't in the dressing room. So when I left, it was just me by myself, and our stations are all still there because they were like, you know, we'll be back by April 12th. Everybody was pretty sure we'd be back by April 12th. So
it was
I talked to my stage manager. She's like, yeah, just make sure if you book a ticket, book it back for at least the 8th. So, you know, we have a few rehearsal time. We have a bit of a rehearsal time. Yeah. And so I left that weekend with a ticket booked to come back on the 30th. I did not take all my stuff. My stuff was still in Brooklyn.
Right.
And within this, I had to leave that place and move to Harlem. So I moved half my stuff to Harlem and the other half was still in Brooklyn. I traveled with only a carry-on. So, and I didn't even bring back my violin. So my violin is in New York. All my stuff, I've been wearing the same clothes since I got here.
Okay, so similar situation.
Over.
Bruce, too. Bruce has only packed a few things too.
So,
how is your community in New York? How are they doing?
They're okay. We had a Zoom meeting a couple Saturdays ago. The company did, and that was nice to see everybody's face and stuff. And people are just, you know, waiting it out, social distancing as best as they can, and trying to help out.
Jay was sharing with us that, you know, his company had been directly affected by the virus. There had been someone in the illness in the company, but not fortunately in your cast.
No, not that I've I think I think quite a few have actually been touched. I've heard of some others as well. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think any of us have. No.
Fortunate. Good. That's good news. That's very, very good news.
Well, we are thrilled that even though you are sorely equipped in the wardrobe department, we're thrilled that you're back home for a while and with your family.
And fairly equipped in the vocal department. So at least you have that.
What you don't have in like glam, you make up in
oh my God. No, the glam's there. This is nothing. This looks cheap. Next to that, this is just cheap.
Oh, it's so cool.
Listen, when this is all over, you and me, I take you shopping. There's an aisle at Dollarama. They have all these stickers.
Okay, thank you.
I can hook you up.
That's awesome. Beautiful.
Only semi-permanent.
For the briefest of sex, I'm going to take over the screen, Red Hot Minute. But get that last tune ready, Joelle. We're going to this out but a moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, what a great night we're having so far. This is so great. We're drawing to the end. We are continuing. We've got 2 more streams this week. Thank you again to our wonderful donation from Nancy Bordenero. As I said, every dollar helps with the AFC helps, the Actors Fund. So thank you for your support. Tomorrow we have the fabulous Rockstar. She's also a Zumba facilitator. What's the word I'm looking for? She teaches
advocate.
Zumba.
It's just she advocate for Zumba.
No, instructor. Oh my God! But she starred as Oz in the Toronto production of We Will Rock You, many other things. Saw her in a brilliant concert production of 9 last year with podium concerts. The stunning, the vivacious Valerie Stanois. We're super excited to have our rockin' Valerie with us tomorrow. So tune in at 7 o'clock on a Friday, because what else are you going to do on a good Friday but have a good stream with Valerie? Yes. And if you're following us on social media, shout us out with the hashtag Big Girl and Friends. And as I said, let everyone know this is going on so we can support the Actors Fund of Canada as much as we can. We're going to bring the beautiful JEWELLE back online. So
you brought me too. Thank you.
All of us. So JEWELLE, what are you going to share with us to conclude? Oh, I'm just going to say thank you. Part of our MD team, thank you, Mateo Lewis, for preparing that awesome track of I Don't Care Much. And what are you going to sing us out with on this beautiful Thursday night, my love? Oh, sorry. My bad. Start that.
That's him.
What are you going to sing us out with, beautiful girl?
You didn't turn your mic on.
I'm going to do, something from Hadestown.
Yay!
Oh my God, we are so lucky. This is so crazy.
Yeah, it really is insane. Well, listen, we'll wrap this up. So thank you for sharing your bit of Broadway with us here. And take it away, beautiful lady.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
let me know if you can hear it. Like, I don't know. Well,
okay.
hopefully you can.
Fire her up, start it, and then I'll pull out.
Can you hear that? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, just get it close to your computer.
Is this close? Is that good? Okay. We have an instrumental here. Step into my office. Woo! We got a little instrumental going on here. I don't know about you boys, but if you're like me, then hanging around this old man home is bringing you down. 6 feet under, getting under your skin. Cabin fever is a setting in. You're still crazy, you're stuck in the rut. But you can use a little pick-me-up. I can give you what it is that you crave. A little something from the good old days. I got the wind right here in a jar. I got the rain on top at the bar. I got the sunshine up on the shelf. Allow me to introduce myself. Brother, what's my name? My name is Our Lady of the Underground. Brother, what's my name? Our Lady of Ways, Our Lady of Peace. Brother, what's my name? My name is Our Lady of the Upside Down. Wanna know my name? I'll tell you my name. Persephone. Come here, brother. Let me guess. It's the little things you miss. Spring flowers, autumn leaves. Ask me, brother, and you shall receive. Or maybe these just ain't enough. Maybe you're looking for some stronger stuff. I got a sight for the sorest eye. When was the last time you saw the sky? Wipe away your tears, brother. Brother, I know how you feel. I can see you're blinded by the sadness of it all. But look a little closer and everything will be revealed. Look a little closer and there's a crack in the wall. You want stars? I got a sky full. Put a quarter in the slot, you get an apple.
You want the moon? Yeah, I got her too. She's right here waiting in my pay-per-view. How long's it been? A little moonshine ain't no sin. Tell my husband to take his time. What the boss don't know, the boss won't mind.
Yeah! Wow. Thank you.
Lord,
Thank you.
well,
Thank you. Thank you.
Fun.
I am telling you, if we can't see you on Broadway, we are blessed
Oh,
beyond
man.
blessed to have you on Big Girl and Friends. Thank you, Jewelle, for sharing.
That was fun.
Oh, my heart is
I'm
exponentially.
giddy. Like, I'm just like,
I don't know if you saw. This is. I just gonna say. I was doing all this stuff, and I was like, I love me a
Sassy
sassy.
sentiment.
You were busy. I was like, you better work that head.
Oh,
dance,
yeah. She
right?
had the whole head. Yep. It was like, what else do I do? It was so good. You're amazing.
Thank you.
And you're just an incredible, amazing spirit. And thank you for sharing your stories with us and your voice. It was amazing.
For asking me. I'm
Oh,
great.
an
Get out of my
absolute
rut. Get out of my rut too. Help me.
beautiful.
So,
Well, when you talk to your company next in New York, please give them our love and admiration as they're waiting
Canadian
for
love. Yep.
Broadway to hold up. Give your hubby and your son a cuddle for us.
yes, most
And thank you so much for joining us this week. Stay tuned and we'll have a little chat with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to sign off and we'll see you tomorrow with Valerie
night, everyone.
Noise. Good night.